Welcome to Family Firearm Fundamentals. Fundamentals is just like it sounds. This is the fundamental class and the one that gets most repeated by my returning students. Why is that? Well, if you're going to take this seriously, then we're talking gun skills and gun laws. If you're taking those skills seriously, don't start in the middle. Start with the fundamentals. If you start with the fundamentals, you'll build a good foundation. And I can make all those analogies about foundations, but you got to have a pretty good, strong foundation if you're going to put the rest of the layers on top of it. If you miss something in the foundation, the rest of them just won't be as strong as they really should be. And so this is Family Firearm Fundamentals. And it'll be our last one of this year. And so I'd like to tempt you to join us. It's coming up this coming Saturday and Sunday, which is October 15th and 16th. And so hope you guys can join us. We've got a pretty full class, but we've got some empty seats added in there, and I'd like to see you in them. And so what's the fundamentals all about? Well, kind of like it sounds, it's fundamentals for families, and both inside the home and outside the home. And I'll go over my notes here so I don't miss what's coming up in class. And so this is really going to be a place where you're going to get a lot of your questions answered because we got a lot of topics to cover. It's going to be a full day class. We're going to start sharp at 9 in the morning, usually finished around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on questions and answers and stuff like that. One of the things is I won't leave that room until you're finished. It's going to be a live action class, and so not a Zoom class, although we do some things on Zooms these days, but this one's I'm inviting you to a live class. And so children can become easily distracted in our world. For goodness sakes, there's so many different stimuli available to them. When I was growing up, it was maybe movies or something like that, but now it's visual video games and other things. And so we'll talk about that and how that's affecting our youth and keeping our kids safe. And I bet you'd all agree with me. We'd like to keep our children safe. Sure, that's kind of not a trick question. But keeping our children safe in this world is more effort than it ever has been. And so we're going to spend part of this weekend talking about that. So I hope you join us for that. And here's some of our other topics. In our classroom, we're going to talk about recent cases in gun laws, right? Different case studies. Man, it seems to be one every day. I tune in the TV and watch the news and, well, there's been another shooting over here. This happened there. Something happened. We can learn a lot from what happens to others. A very wise man, I think, once said something like this. If you don't learn from what happens to others, then you're doomed to do all the things that they did. And so I don't want to make those mistakes if I can watch somebody else do it instead. We'll talk about concealed carry permits for those of you who are going to carry the gun outside the house, either in this state or in our other states. And so we're going to do a performance package of different permitting available at a different time. And those permits will cover you for just about every state that we can be permitted for. For instance, we can do a bundle of permits that will have you contractual reciprocity, meaning it's a contract with the government, that you can carry a concealed firearm in every state this side of the Mississippi River. Currently, I think there's only 2 exclusions. One would be California, what a shock, and the other one is Colorado. And we can pretty much take care of most of them on the eastern side as well. And so only missing Illinois, South Carolina, and a couple of the ones up there around New York and New Jersey. And so we'll talk about concealed carry permits for other states for those of you that are considering traveling. Better be permitted than not permitted. Travel by the law, right? We'll talk about your gun owner's rights, your responsibilities. We're going to talk about firearm safety. Firearm safety is a big issue, both inside the home and outside the home. How can you make guns safe at home for whoever lives there? And maybe it's just you. Or maybe it's you and a spouse. Are there ever any children or others? Some of us are taking care of our parents now in our own homes, or still have kids at home. If we don't have kids at home, we got kids that visit us, other people's kids. And so all those change the effects of how are we going to have firearms stored inside the house. It's not enough that you hide them. We're going to go over a lot of those statistics when I see you in class. A couple other things we're going to cover. Common causes of firearm-related accidents. If we know and understand the cause of the accident, then we can see it coming and maybe do something to prevent it. And so we'll study some case studies and some common causes of firearm-related accidents. Know and understand those for sure. What kind of a gun would you have? Well, they're different guns. We'll talk briefly about long guns and shotguns, but handgun is the portable one. That's what we're going to carry around under our coat. That's the one that we can get permits for. And there's different handguns. There's revolvers, there's semi-automatics, there's different sizes, there's different calibers, there's all kinds of different stuff. Lots of details, and we'll cover that in writing in class this weekend. So you're going to go home with a bunch of stuff in a big fat notebook, more information. So whatever decisions you make beyond here, you make good decisions because you're going to have some good information to make those decisions on. What else can we do apart from that? We'll talk about, who's ever heard of single action and double action? Kind of a strange term, but we'll cover that. Revolvers can be single action or double action, and certainly semi-automatics can be single action, double action, and there's even more variants than that. We'll cover all those different actions because that will have a big determination of what will you invest your money in to carry around or protect your family at home. Another thing, we'll talk about ammo size, ammo caliber size, different configurations. We'll talk about that. And holsters, we're going to carry it around. A holster, yes. You'll need a holster to secure it to your body when you're traveling around with it, and a concealment garment. And so we'll talk about open carry, unconcealed guns, and concealed carry, concealed guns. And so with all of those things, you'll come away with a nice big book in the end of the class with a lot of information, using that information. And we'll talk about continuing education. If you like what you hear at class, we'll give you some resources where you can continue with some good quality stuff on your own. And so there also will be different resources through our school. We're doing more and more online. And so if you go to our website, simple enough, www.oldschoolgunschool.com, and then you'll see where we have the Insiders package. And the Insider membership brings you into our video library and some of the stuff that we do online, and some private classes that we only do for those. And so if you have any interest there, that's something you do tonight. Just go into oldschoolgunschool.com, go to Insider Membership, fill out the form, and you'll be there. Until then, registration will be over the telephone. So if it's something you're going to be serious about, pick up the telephone, give us a call. Telephone number is 360, number 378-1776. Call me with any questions or your registration, and I'll see you on Saturday or Sunday.